So, ladies and gentlemen, now we are going to the next keynote speech session. This is the session 2. In this keynote speech session, our keynote speaker is Mr. Jun Hirabayashi. He is the director of Qunie Corporation, Japan, and he is going to share about how Japan prepares digital technology for society 5.0. And in this second session, there will be a dialogue session that will be led by Dr. Sani Muhammad Isa as the moderator. Without further ado, I give the floor to Mr. Hirabayashi and Dr. Isa as the moderator. The floor is yours.
Good morning. Thank you, Ms. Safira, for the session. Good morning, everyone. I am Sani Muhammad Isa from Binus Graduate Program. As you know, I will moderate the second keynote speaker session in this ICOBAR 2020 conference. So in this morning, we have Mr. Jun Hirabayashi from Japan. Thank you for being with us, Mr. Hirabayashi. And he will share his experience in this conference regarding to the Society 5.0. So let me read a short CV about him. So Mr. Hirabayashi is a director of business development support in developing countries in Qunie Corporation, Japan. And he graduated from University of Tokyo. He was previously working as a senior manager at Accenture, Japan for 17 years. And in this session, he would deliver the speech about how does the Japan prepare the digital technology for Society 5.0. So in this session, I will keep your question first as the previous session. So I will deliver the question later after the speech to Mr. Hirabayashi. So without further ado, please welcome Mr. Jun Hirabayashi. Can you hear my voice?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, here. You can start your session now, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's a bit early, but it's okay?
Yes, yes. Your voice is clear, and
okay.
your video is also clear.
Let me prepare for the showing the presentation. Just
okay.
A moment, please.
Yes.
Okay, I'm ready. Can I start?
Yes, sure. Time is yours, Mr. Hirabayashi.
Yep, thank you very much. Hello, everyone. My name is Jun Hirabayashi, and I am a director of a business consulting company called Qunie Corporation, Qunie, Qunie Corporation. Qunie is a group company of Nippon Telegraph and Telephone Corporation. And this is #1 mobile carrier of NTT Group, which Qunie Corporation helps clients transform by utilizing ICT, information and communication technology. I am mainly in charge of business consulting when Japanese companies expand or transform their businesses in emerging markets. In terms of business expansion to emerging markets, digital transformation is now a common presence, not only in Southeast Asia, but also in Africa or other developing regions. Today, I would like to introduce the concept Society 5.0, and then describe what concrete solutions are being installed in Japan now. Society 5.0 is defined by Japan government as a human-centered society that balances economic advancement with the resolution of social problems by a system that highly integrates cyberspace and physical space. Social reform, in other words, innovation, in Society 5.0, we've achieved a forward-looking society that breaks down the existing sense of stagnation, a society whose members have mutual respect for each other, transcending the generations and a society in which each and every person can lead an active and enjoyable life. In Society 5.0, various keywords such as IoT, Internet of Things, AI, and big data appear very often. But I would like to think about what the essence is without such buzzwords. I think that Society 5.0 is to rebuild the society with digital solutions that have acquired power beyond human beings in input, think, and output. I would like to look at them in order. First is input. Even before reaching Society 5.0, new inputs have led human beings to new creations. For example, if you imagine a microscope, it will be easy to understand. If we didn't have a microscope, we wouldn't know the presence of virus. However, the evolution of digital technology has made it possible to obtain new inputs that humans have never been able to obtain. For example, a huge amount of input that humans cannot perceive, places where humans cannot go, such as dangerous places or places that are too narrow to enter. Formal knowledge that was something vague, but that was sensed is also like that. In a word, it means that the ability to obtain human input was amplified. The next is think. To make it simple, let's consider think means to make a decision based on input. Since we have given up understanding what we don't understand, many decisions have been made based on intuition and experience. Either way, if you don't understand the truth, it's convincing that it's better for people who have a good intuition and who have a lot of experiences to make decisions. In fact, many management consultants have used their intuition and experiences to help the decisions of many clients and have gotten big amount of fees. However, digital technology now amplifies the think as well. Chess is the easiest case to understand. AI has come to beat humans, as you know. After playing chess millions of times, those became input. The lessons learned helped to develop its own strategy without human knowledge. Finally, the output. Input and think alone bring no value to society. We create value only by sending outputs that influence the actions of humans or digital technologies, such as robots, that substitute for humans. I would like to introduce one video here. Some people have seen it. AI is learning how to swing optimally on the swing. This is a video released by Hitachi, a gigantic Japanese company. Let's see the robot rapidly doing It's 20 times faster, sorry, 10 times. Three times faster. But the robot, 8 times randomly doing However, it doesn't directly. However, gradually gets a mass down to the ᴘᴜ9. becoming better than humans. It finds ways to wiggle bends and stretches that humans don't normally do. Here are some important insights. First, this process is usually not taken when a human child learns on a swing. Oh, sorry. After being taught by parents and others, they will learn how to swing with the intuition. Therefore, almost no one can bend and stretch like a robot did. Perhaps if humans can also do this method, they may get larger amplitude, that is, better output. It can be said that the methodology for creating so-called innovation is realized by digital technology. It is also important insight that this new method can be shared as explicit knowledge and that this methodology is amply applied. I omitted because the video is too long, but please have a look. It's a bit too noisy, sorry. It is using the same program to another type of robot. It will be possible for a robot with such a different shape of shape to take large swing range with the same program. So, in a word, knowledge is shared. In this way, being able to produce outputs that humans could not produce is of importance in solving social issues. That is the key to realize Society 5.0. Up to this point, it was an introduction. But from here, I would like to look at concrete examples. There are 3 cases I would like to introduce today. The first is a case of AI image diagnosis. Long time ago, X-rays made it possible to obtain something that the human eye could not see as input. But the point of this technology is that it is not humans that think it. This time, we will introduce a diagnosis of COVID-19. So of course, the solution makes outputs that lead to actions such as treatment and isolation. Next is an example of visualizing where people are gathering by using people's mobile phones as sensors. In responding to COVID-19, the importance of social distancing was confirmed, and this solution was used to verify in which areas people are gathering and whether the government's efforts are effective. During normal times, it is used for tourist dynamics analysis, commercial area analysis, and city planning, and so on. This can be said that to be the mechanism in which input is specifically amplified among input, sink, and output. Finally, in order to explain importance of the infrastructure that supports the visible digital technology, we would like to introduce a drone flight management system. Drones have the aspect of being a tool for obtaining input and as a tool for directly performing actions as well as output, and can be said to be a representative solution of digital transformation. We would like to introduce a mechanism behind the drone success. Then we will enter the first one, Ms. Xu of NTT Data. the parent company of my company, Qunie Corporation, will introduce. Shu-san, are you ready? I'm not sure. I'm very sorry, but my colleague Shu-san is not joining now. So I want to change the order. So I'd like to start from number 2. So when Shu-san joins, we'd like to be back to the number 1. I'm very sorry. So the next second solutions, I'd like to introduce the second example, introducing a solution called mobile spatial statistics that visualizes where people are gathering by using people's mobile phones as sensors. This is population statistics created using the cellular network mechanism of NTT Docomo, a mobile operator of our group. You can get the hourly population every 24 hours, 7 days. The mobile phone network periodically keeps track of the mobile phones located in each area of each base network station, so that calls and emails can be used anytime, anywhere. Using this mechanism, the number of mobile phones can be aggregated and the population can be estimated by adding the Docomo's penetration rate to each region. In addition, information such as gender, age, and place of residence can be obtained from the contract information of the mobile phone, so you can know who moved from where to where. It's a pity that there are only Japanese websites, but let's see the actual information. Here, as a countermeasure for COVID-19, information on where and how many people are there today is released. It's real-time information. In addition to hourly information, including real-time, you can also compare with the previous year. For example, let's take a look at ᴘᴜ낳ʟɪ, where Qunie's office is located. It is the center of a business area in Tokyo. In this way, the number of people is shown in chronological order. Orange color represents that of 1 year ago, and green color represents now. You can see that the number of people has decreased significantly due to the impact of COVID-19. You can also display by gender and age. Green color represents male and orange color represents female. The vertical is the age group. You can also display by place of residence. The green color represents the area around ᴘᴜmagyî. The orange color represents the inside of Tokyo Metropolitan, and the red color represents the outside of Tokyo. Unfortunately, this data of 1 year ago is not displayed, but in Tokyo, many people are commuting from outside Tokyo, so you can see that telework is progressing considerably. It is a range that this is released free of charge, but much more data is still accumulated. it's like you are carrying a sensor around. So introducing this mechanism isn't really that hard. A mobile phone company with a large penetration is only required to build a system for appropriately managing personal information and create a platform for aggregating data in real time. It's not so difficult. I assume in the near future, this data will have a more direct impact on changing the behavior with output. For example, you can use it like going to the zoo because the aquarium is crowded today. Or introducing a temporary bus because there are many movements between points A and point B on holidays. At present, the system does not assume that individuals will use this data. But by reflecting this data in a navigation application, for example, individuals can also benefit from this data. Once again, simply by getting the inputs that people couldn't approach without changing the thing, you can change the actions and eventually the behavior. This is the introduction of second concrete solutions. Let me check whether Shu-san is already joined or not. Shu-san?
Hello.
Shu-san, it started a bit earlier, so could you please start your explanation?
Here, I can hear you. Could you share the presentation of mine? Hello, could you hear me? I think there is some trouble about my mic, so could you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Shu-san.
Okay. I can start my presentation. Could you show the presentation? I have sent you the materials because I cannot share the screen.
Shu-san, now you can share the screen because we already make you a co-host.
Oh, okay, sure.
So maybe Hirabayashi-san can stop the share screen.
Wait a minute. Yeah, I share the screen by another computer. Could you accept me to enjoy the meeting?
Okay. Okay, we will.
Oh, good. Thank you. Sorry, there is some trouble about my computer. But they said it is impossible for me to share the screen.
Wait a minute.
But it is forbidden for the host.
Okay, I think you can show now.
Okay, sure. What? Could you see my screen?
Yes, yeah, we can clear your screen.
Okay, thanks God. Good morning, everyone. I'm very sorry for meeting because I have some trouble about the computer. I'm Xue from NTT Data Corporation. Our company is the largest of the IT service company headquartered in Japan and with business operation in more than 50 countries, also include Indonesia. Our IT service covered financial, public health, and many kinds of business cooperators. Today, I would like to introduce our AI image diagnose radiology solution for efficient pandemic response, especially coronavirus. The solution is developed to cooperate with our India partner company called DeepTech. Our AI image diagnose solution mainly focuses on the chest X-ray image. And to some kinds of disease, CT scans are also included in our solution. We set up a platform to deal with all medical X-ray images by applying our AI engine to distinguish the type of disease. Also, the feedback loop is included in the system. The doctors use our system to diagnose the disease. And if they found there is something wrong about the result, they can revise the result and feedback to the AI engine. Then the AI engine will learn from the feedback and improve the accuracy. The advantage of our AI system, instead of a human being to read a medical image, is the accuracy, cost effectiveness, and the rapid speed. I will explain the details later. Okay. This one shows the public screening of suspects in hospital. The main customer of our solution is a hospital. Here I give you an example of COVID-19. As you may know, until now, PCR test is a main method to diagnose the disease. But PCR is expensive and takes a few hours after test, and also not available in all hospitals. So we consider to use X-ray to diagnose. Because almost all hospitals provide chest X-ray. It also costs less money than PCR test. To read the PCR result, we need to wait for maybe a few hours, less than 6 hours normally. But if you use X-ray diagnose, only a few milliseconds is enough. Also, we mentioned high accuracy and optimized workflow in hospital. Because normally, doctors in the hospital need to read X-ray images. By applying AI in hospital, we can save the effort from the doctors, and according to our precious test results, accuracy of AI is higher than human beings. And this one shows another reason why we use X-ray instead of PCR. Not only in the hospital, but also in another hotspot, the mobile X-ray vans. Such kind of mobile X-ray vans or the mobile car can also help us to get the X-ray data. Especially in pandemic season, it's very hard for the suspicion patient to go to the hospital. It's very, very risky for themselves to go to the hospital by themselves, and impossible for them to take public traffic to go to the hospital. But with the examination car or the mobile vans, the diagnosis will be easy and also prevent hospital-acquired infections. The spread of pandemic in hospital to some extent, we can also prevent such kind of spread. And you can see the floor. The mobile vans get the X-ray data and send it to our server. The server, the AI will read this X-ray data and do diagnose automatically. And also, X-ray is not only can be used for diagnose. After a patient is diagnosed positive, doctors can monitor the development of disease by comparing the X-ray with previous one. And this slide shows the future ideas by using our solutions. In the future, our strategies prefer to use a diagnosed result to develop nano applications and combine it with, for example, SNS to develop another kinds of healthcare services. And this one is the overall image of the solution. We receive X-ray image from hospital or mobile X-ray vans or examination card and deal with them by our AI engine and provide the results to the hospital, to the doctor, radiologist, and the patient. Let me show you our system overview. First, you need to log in the system. If you have the internet connection, you can access our system anytime, anywhere, no matter you're in Indonesia or in Japan or in Africa, any countries, you can access to the system anytime. After login, you can see the patient list, the patient name, the patient ID number, and some basic information about the patient. Also, you can upload your X-ray image to the system. Then you can click any name to access the X-ray data of the patient. AI system will recognize image automatically by pulling out the part of the infected area. You can see this pink box. The AI system cite the lesion part and diagnose the type of disease. For example, the AI system recognizes the lesion part from the pink box and diagnosed the COVID or another kinds of diseases. The most advantage of our system is a smart reporting function. As you may know, there are so many companies focused on AI image recognitions, especially in coronavirus season. Alibaba and many companies focus on the AI image diagnose, but few of them have the function of smart reporting. In medical case, even AI can help us to diagnose. Doctors still need a lot of time to write the medical report by their hand, especially in COVID season. The doctors is very busy now, but they still need to spare many times to write down these kinds of report. So we developed such kind of smart reporting function. There is no need for the doctor to write the report now. AI can help us do all of them. This is our I think the most advantage from this solution. And the doctors can check the AI result. And if the result is wrong, doctors can feed back to the system, then the AI system can learn it to revise the accuracy automatically. Also, except COVID-19, more than 17 kinds of disease, almost 30 kinds of disease can be diagnosed by our AI system. Actually, another type of disease is much more mature and already be used for business in many hospitals in the world. For COVID-19, you know, the topic is very new, so we still need to develop it and get more and more data to revise the accuracy in the near future. And until now, more than 50 hospitals and medical imaging centers has adopted our AI systems. And this is a diagnosis result for the pneumonia. We also compare the X-ray result with the CT results. As you may know, the pneumonia is COVID can also show some symptom of pneumonia. If a person can be diagnosed as pneumonia, so the person has a high risk to get COVID-19. And this is a diagnosis result for tuberculosis. And accuracy about this one has reached 92%. Okay, that is my introduction. Thank you. Terima kasih.
Thank you very much, Shu-san.
Okay. So I think we have a QA time later.
Yes, yes.
So maybe I can give the host to someone. Could you give me?
I will be the host, so I will start sharing screen again.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So let me introduce the third case, introducing Airpalette, a software package that totally supports safe and efficient operation of drones. With the spread of drones, multiple drones will fly in limited airspace. But to manage the flight of multiple drones safely and efficiently, the role of the operator operating the drone, and the role of drone traffic management service providers are very important. The drone operator develops a flight plan that considers safety in advance and monitors that the drone is flying safely according to the flight plan. The drone traffic management service provider is responsible for managing flight plans and flight location information for multiple drones and supporting the safe operation of the drones. It is easy to imagine what a drone's hardware is like. But in order for it to fly safely, you need a mechanism to support it behind the scenes. We believe that digital transformation will be realized only by establishing such a hidden infrastructure. It's not because I was tired of the explanation, but there's a very easy to understand movie. So please have a look. Thank you very much for watching this movie. Above, I have introduced 3 cases. Here again, I'd like to go back to what the essence of digital transformation is and finish my speech. I think that the essence of digital transformation is the creation of digital Earth other than real Earth. Digital Earth is a virtual one that is created in digital space using a state of real Earth and what is happening on real Earth as input. Then, in the process of sync, various trials and errors are repeated on digital Earth. When the best method is found, it is transmitted as output, and the actors who can act, such as humans and robots, put into action on real Earth. There's no problem with a robot that swings because it can easily provide a real environment, but for things such as countermeasures against infectious diseases and climate change, there is a huge risk in trial and error with real Earth. They should be done on digital Earth. It is one of the most valuable things, such as repeating the simulation of infectious disease infection and epidemic prevention measures to search for the best answer of digital Earth. Needless to say, there are many social problems on real Earth. If there is a mechanism that accurately graphs the situation, a mechanism that accurately reproduces it as digital Earth, and an environment that can withstand sync, innumerable trial and errors, we can offer outputs, in other words, solutions. However, we have to connect output to actions. For example, we can show on digital Earth what will happen 50 years later if people all over the world continue their current behavior, and if the behavior changes. It may be able to change our behavior. Real Earth is what we really need to make good, and I think it is necessary to make good use of digital transformation or digital Earth as a tool for the purpose. If even digital Earth cannot change people's behavior, then it would be better if robots that did all the suggestions delivered from digital Earth dominated real Earth. It's a little too much overlooked, but I think it would be desirable to have a relationship with digital transformation in that way. Thank you very much for listening to us for a long time. Sorry, Isa-san, your mic is muted.
I forgot to, yes, okay, thank you. I forgot to unmute my microphone. Okay. Thank you for the very interesting presentation, Mr. Hirabayashi. And let me conclude your presentation. This presentation talk about the Society 5.0 concepts that integrates the cyberspace and physical space. And the second one, Mr. Hirabayashi also talked about Society 5.0 examples that already implemented in Japan. The first one is the implementation of AI X-ray image diagnosis for COVID-19, and also applies to other pathologies such as tuberculosis. And then the second example is how to use the information from the cell phone to visualize people gathering. And then the last example is Airpalette. So it is the system for drone flight management system. Very interesting example, Mr. Hirabayashi. And yeah, the last point that he already talked in this presentation is the digital transformation. So in this session, we already have several questions here. The first question from Dr. Fergianto. Okay, let me read the question. At what level of COVID-19 infection in a person where the infection is detectable by X-ray system? I speculate it should be at level that the virus has seriously damaged the lung. Maybe you can answer the question first, Mr. Hirabayashi.
Excuse me, sorry to interrupt. Maybe.
Yes. Or you can help.
Yeah, I think I should.
Sure.
Yes. Please go ahead.
I need to explain this question. Yes, in reality, it is almost impossible to find any change in the chest X-ray, especially in the first 4 days after people is infected, as well as in the incubation period. But after 4 days, you can see the X-ray, the lung shows some part of the pneumonia, some change in the pneumonia. But the probability is also low. But after 10 days later, everything will be changed. The virus itself will act on the lung, and it's very easy to diagnose. You know, so if we get the patient data, not the incubation period data, maybe after 10 days, the people get affected, the X-ray data is very easy to be recognized.
Yes.
But at the first 4 days, X-ray also CT data cannot read anything.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for the answer. I hope it answered the question. Okay, the second question from Mr. Aditya Gintings. So the question is, in relation with Society 5.0 and AI, how do you invite the involvement of the whole community in this activity? While socially, there are limitations to confidential personal data. Also, there are limitations to the number of mobile media owners. Plus, in addition to entity, there are, of course, also providers like IDC, etc. So the data collection constraint will be important. Without correct and clean data, AI certainly cannot provide good output and can even produce dangerous output. So how do you invite the involvement of the whole community in the Japan to get real-time data for this activity? So that's for the second question from Aditya Ginting, a long question. Maybe Mr. Hirabayashi can answer.
Yeah,
yes.
Thank you very much for the great question. This event is very good timing because the society in Japan is started to change due to the effect of coronavirus, COVID-19. In Japan, as you can imagine, a lot of people, especially elderly people, hesitated to provide the personal data, including location data, payment data, or something. But because of that situation, in Japan, it is decided to give about $1,000 per person from government to all nations. But we have to write the application not online but offline by hand, and people are really surprised. In Japan, we are very in Japan, the IT technology is not well installed in Japan society, and we have to change. People, including elderly people, noticed about it. So the situation is rapidly changing now. Almost 90% of nations refuses to provide the national ID. But now the impression has changed. Maybe in near future, more than half of nations will provide approved to get national security number, like in US. So it will make it much easier to collect very good data, very clean data. So in Japan, the movement was very slow, but now it is rapidly changing. And I think similar things will be happen in other countries as well, including Indonesia. So coronavirus was, of course, a very, very bad influence on society, economy, but it causes to be a good opportunity to change the society to be a digital society 5.0. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the answer, Mr. Hirabayashi. Okay, continue with the next question. Okay, we have many questions actually here. Okay, from Andreas. The question is regarding of drone. How does the data that the drone get can be transferred to the person in charge when it is in place where there are low signals, such as in the middle of the sea? So how does the system work for that limitation?
Thank you very much for the question. Of course, drone has the kind of mobile. So if it's not in the middle of the sea, drone can be connected like a mobile phone. But in the middle of the sea, a drone can store the data, and when it be near from the coast, and drone will send all of the stored data.
Okay, so it's offline first, Mr. Hirabayashi, right? And then later we can process the data.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. The next question is from Mr. Hari Sutanto. The question is how to make society 5.0 become the culture of nation?
I think it's a similar question to the previous one, but when Japan government started to say society 5.0, almost no nations or no people are interested in that. But the society is now changing, and it will be a good timing to introduce solutions more to be a society 5.0. And in Japan, not all country, but some cities are selected to be a kind of best practices for society 5.0. Most of them is actually very small and local cities, far from Tokyo. But it is very good site for a kind of experiment. So if such experiment show the successful case, all over the world, all over the country, it will change soon. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And the next question from Dr. Michael Siek. Okay, the question is, how much is the accuracy of your COVID-19 detection system from X-ray images, and how does your automatic updating algorithm actually work, especially false positive output occurs?
Okay,
yeah.
my turn.
Yes.
The accuracy, actually, the number of the accuracy is not meaningful. As I said it before, the accuracy depends on the image data itself instead of the AI system. Because in reality, it is almost impossible to find any change in the chest X-ray in the first 4 days. If all of data from the 4 days patient, then the accuracy will be very, very low. But if the data, we get the patient data or the patient maybe 10 days, 10 days later data, such kind of data, the accuracy will be very high. So it's not meaningful to, it's not meaningful to discuss the accuracy now. Yeah, but at least we can say if we get the very pure data and very good data, I mean the patient after 10 days later, the accuracy can be reached more than 90%. Yeah.
Okay.
It depends on the data itself, not depends on our AI system.
The algorithm, yeah. Okay, thank you. So the most important point is the data should be at least 10 days after the infections, right?
10 days is better, but actually after 4 days,
Okay.
Yeah, we can show something after 4 days. I cannot say the probability is very high, but at least we can show something.
Okay, okay, thank you. Okay, the next question is from Dr. Bahtiar Simamora. So the question is, what is the real contribution of AI in handling COVID-19 in Japan? Maybe this one is generally the question.
Okay. Could I answer this question again?
Yes, sure.
Actually, I'm in charge of the CT or X-ray image diagnosis, but because I have done some literature review and do some survey about the COVID, especially the AI COVID technology in Japan, so maybe I can answer this question. Now, the mainly use cases in Japan can be divided into the 3 parts. The first, CT or CXR image diagnosis. And the second one, the medical information processing. For example, the genome data and also the many kinds of medical data, not image data, only some medical data, like some, I mean, genome data and the liquid data and such kind of medical data. And the third one, in Japan, where some kinds of companies developed the chart system. They use SNS to provide the medical information to the customer themselves. That one is not directly cooperate with the medical information, but some chart company, do you know Line? I think Indonesia also use Line. Line combined with some IT companies to provide such kind of SNS IT service. They get the information, they get the health situation from the customer, and to deal with this information to give some advice to the customer or to the SNS user. These 3 parts of AI use cases in Japan now.
Okay, thank you for the answer. I hope the answer is explain about the question from Dr. Bahtiar. Okay, maybe the last question is from Fios Frederick. So we know that we call it here in Indonesia ODP. ODP is people who doesn't have a COVID-19 infection, but we know that they are has a contact with the patient COVID-19. So is it possible to detect them and to manage how to separate them from the society to prevent the infection more? So that's the question. So is it possible to detect them because they have no infection yet? What we know is they only have the contact with the COVID-19 positive patient. Okay, that's the question.
Okay. If the person contact with a COVID patient, and first of all, I recommend them to get the PCR if possible. If PCR is not possible, please go to self-isolation and wait for a few days. I can only say a few days, maybe 1 week. Actually, theoretically 1 week until 2 weeks self-isolation. And
Okay.
then if PCR is not possible, people can take X-ray or CT, such kind of radiology test to get the image and use our diagnosis system to do some kind of test. If it still shows positive, then maybe what a pity, the people can have high problem to get such kind of infections. But if the result shows negative, self-isolation, few days. We have no any other choice but to self-isolation.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for the answering the question. Okay, we still have one new question from Nuah Tarigan. The question is, how is the relationship between Society 5.0 with inclusion in society? Maybe Mr. Hirabayashi? Good.
This is a very good and very difficult question. So as I explained, Society 5.0 is a kind of concept which is explained by Japan government, but it is not well done at this moment. But it is changing, as I explained. So people's mindset has changed. And for example, like myself, I'm working for the ICT industry, so it is unreasonable to not to install such digital solutions like AI, IoT, or something. But for other people, actually, they are already satisfied at the kind of analog society, and they think they don't need to be changed. It is very, very common and very big problem for Japan society. As you can imagine, Japan people hesitate to change. This is not only for Society 5.0, but also any kind of things. So as you remember, in 2011, there was a big earthquake suffered from a tsunami, and there was a big damage, but the society has changed. And coronavirus also can be a kind of opportunity to change our society. So it is difficult to answer this question, but the inclusion in society should proceed very rapidly. Maybe it is a big change. There will be a big change from before coronavirus. Sorry, my answer is only like this.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for the answer, Mr. Hirabayashi. Yeah, unfortunately, we almost in a time limit. So yeah, unfortunately, we have to close the QA session for this session. So for the next, I would like to thank to Mr. Hirabayashi and teams that already shared to us about the experience and knowledge in Japan related to Society 5.0. So thank you also for to everyone for your participation, your question. So the next session will be the certificates. Yeah. So we're still waiting for the certificate from ICOBAR. Yeah, okay. So here is the certificate for Mr. Jun Hirabayashi. So certificate of appreciation. This certificate awarded to Mr. Jun Hirabayashi, Qunie Corporation Japan, for sharing his valuable knowledge as a keynote speaker in the International Conference on Biospheric Harmony Advanced Research, or ICOBAR, towards Society 5.0, how interdisciplinary research contributes for the sustainable smart society. Okay, thank you again for the presentation and sharing, Mr. Jun Hirabayashi.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's a great honor. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. And I will return this session to our master ceremony. Again, thank you all. Good morning.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Isa. Thank you very much for Mr. Hirabayashi and Ms. Shua for sharing such an insightful knowledge. And also thank you for Dr. Isa for being the moderator of the keynote speech session 2. Now, Excellencies, participants, ladies and gentlemen, the end of the keynote speech session means that we're finally at the end of the opening ceremony of ICOBAR 2020. Bina Nusantara University would like to thank our honorable guests, honorable keynote speakers, and all participants of the conference, as well as participants of keynote speech session. Bina Nusantara University would also like to thank AIS for sponsoring ICOBAR 2020.
In the year 2017, the Archipelagic and Island States Forum initiated. The Archipelagic and Island States Forum, or AIS Forum, is a designated platform to include 47 archipelagic and island nations focused in 4 thematic areas. Those are climate change mitigation and adaptation, blue economy, marine plastic debris, and good maritime governance. AIS Forum Secretariat has developed 3 programs that encourage innovations through research and development and entrepreneurship. Those are Joint Research Program, the Innovators Scholarship Program, and Innovation Challenge. We believe that the academicians play a big role in advancing R&D. Thus, we initiated the Joint Research Program between academic institutions to come up with breakthrough ideas that could bring benefit to AIS participating countries. In the second program, we will bring talented individuals through the Innovators Scholarship Program to come up with innovations that contribute to the economy of AIS countries. The scholarship program is a partnership between AIS Forum with universities from archipelagic and island countries. Last, in the light of COVID-19 pandemic, it is important for archipelagic and island states to have a resilient economy. Therefore, AIS Forum Secretariat introduces the Innovation Challenge, an idea competition to find business solutions that can help companies and societies at large withstand a crisis situation. Many solutions to challenges that affect AIS participating countries in 4 main thematic areas and SDG 14 goals are produced through collaboration programs. These programs will explore opportunities through innovation and experiment that benefits on a local, regional, and international scale through sharing knowledge and experiences between AIS participating countries.
I would like to say thank you. My name is Safira. Once again, thank you very much for joining the opening ceremony of ICOBAR 2020. For all participants who are not presenting today, can leave the room because this ceremony is closing. So thank you very much. For presenters, have a nice day and see you next time.